When Wyoming voters go to the polls, they will make their choice for president, U.S. Congress, state legislature, and various county and local offices. But it doesn't stop there. Also on the ballot, 3 measures to change the state's constitution. Written and ratified in 1889 while Wyoming was still a territory, this document is 3 times longer than the U.S. Constitution. And while the federal document has been amended only 27 times since 1789, our state constitution has been altered more than 70 times. One article alone, Article 15, which governs taxation and revenue, has been amended more than a dozen times.
To consider adoption of the...
To get on the ballot, a constitutional amendment must first win 2/3 support in both chambers of the Wyoming legislature. All 3 measures easily passed that test. So, in the order of their appearance, here are the 3 ballot questions. Constitutional Amendment A is a response to the debate over the Federal Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. Governor Meade and most legislators opposed the ACA, in particular, the individual mandate that everyone must purchase or acquire health insurance. Wyoming joined other states in suing the federal government, but lost when the Supreme Court upheld the constitutionality of the federal health care law. So, even though federal law supersedes state law, Constitutional Amendment A states that the right to make health care decisions is reserved to the citizens of the state of Wyoming. It permits any person to pay and any health care provider to receive direct payment for services. It also allows the state to place reasonable and necessary restrictions on health care, and says the state shall act to preserve those rights from undue governmental infringement. Constitutional Amendment B seeks to enshrine what many say has always been an essential part of Wyoming life. If adopted, it will recognize and preserve the heritage of Wyoming citizens' opportunity to fish, hunt, and trap wildlife, subject to regulation as prescribed by law. Supporters say it would preclude any attempts by animal rights groups to restrict hunting or trapping, while opponents say Wyoming is already very protective of sportsmen's activities, and the Constitution should not be rewritten for non-existent threats. The final ballot question is a court reform that would expand the authority of district court commissioners. They already must be persons learned in the law, but they do not go through the rigorous judicial selection process that judges must. Under the Wyoming Constitution, district court commissioners can only act if a district court judge is out of the county or is prohibited from hearing the case. But all too often, the district court judge is simply tied up in a major case, often for weeks, and other cases go unheard. Constitutional Amendment C would change that, and a district court commissioner could perform additional duties assigned by a district court judge, even if the judge is still in the district. So, those are the ballot questions this election. And remember, not choosing is the same as voting no on the measure. An amendment only becomes part of the Constitution if, and this is a quote from that document, a majority of the electors shall ratify the same. Over the years, 27 amendments have failed, even though there were more yays than nays. It's the undecided voters who killed those measures by not deciding. So, get out and put your mark on that entire ballot.